Hey Vibers!
Hi!
Today we're going to be talking to you guys about how to manifest with water.
Yes, using a cool infuser bottle, because they do have some bottles that already have a crystal inside. Those bottles are beautiful, they're gorgeous, even have glass versions, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to necessarily invest in a bottle like that, and you want to be able to change out your intentions, because with those particular bottles, you can't pull the amethyst out or the rose quartz out. It's integrated into the bottle. We just want to talk about different ways to use water to manifest. So to start, I purchased this bottle for like $9, free shipping from Walmart. And I really like this piece in the middle that typically would be used for fruit. But what I'm going to do after heavy research on the safe crystals to use, I'm going to take the different clean crystals after I do my spell work with them, make sure they're completely saged, cleansed, and then cleanse them with water. I'll put them in that middle portion and then put intentions into that water, let it sit overnight before I drink it. But there are other ways that if you don't want to put the crystal directly into your bottle, you can, put that same energy into the water.
Yeah. And also, yes, like you said, do your research, because there are certain crystals that are toxic to ingest. So make sure you do your homework.
Exactly.
And if you don't know much about crystals or how to use them, there are other ways you can program your water without crystals. For example, you can write affirmations on the bottle. You can simply just hold it close to your heart while you visualize, speak your manifestations into it. I like to, there's a lot of energy in our hands, and if you were to constantly do this, it would start to feel as if you were taking two magnets, and that's the energy between you.
Yes.
So I also like to use my hands and like visualize over the water bottle, and then just visualize it being programmed with everything I'm putting into it.
Yes.
So those are other ways you can do that as well.
Yeah.
When you're drinking your water, to program it with your intention and what you want it to be doing.
Yeah, and if you don't want to put the crystals directly into the bottle, you can also have a container full of crystals and just put the bottle in that so it absorbs the power from that. Or there's bottles that you can find that have a bottom area that you can unscrew, and you can put the crystals in that. So even if it was a different type of crystal that you were kind of iffy about, is it good to put directly in water, it can still be very, very close to the water without being directly inside. And then another thing I will say is let your crystals be tumbled. So this version is tumbled. It's not raw, so you're not going to get the extra parts that could possibly break off into the water, and then you're digesting them. But this one, which is used in a lot of water bottles currently, is rose quartz. So I'm thinking of, continuing with that and making sure that rose quartz, which is about the essence of self-love and compassion and healing baggage of the heart from the past. It's a very, very soft, gentle stone. So it is very calming. And I love to have that vibration in water that we have. The reason why we talk about manifesting with water is because our bodies are made up of such a huge amount of water. They say between 70 to 75%. So if that is what our bodies are made up of, we have to make sure that we encourage that water to be special and to have a great, great message, and not just take it out of the tap and it's been going around rusty pipes and, agitated, and then we're processing it and we're wondering why the energy from that water makes us feel a little bit just not really uplifted.
Yeah. Also, that makes a lot of sense about water literally giving us life. It is our life force. So we want to be careful of what we are feeding our own life force that influences our emotions as well, because water is also emotion. Yeah. So we have to be more careful of what we are ingesting and putting into our bodies, because especially when it is running through not only just the rusty pipes, but it's running through the community and the homes and anything other energy that's outside. We don't know what's going on with people and what's going into that. So it's your way of kind of taking control by doing that as well.
Exactly. And as Erika was mentioning before, you can write on your bottle. So that's why I love, plastic. I'm not investing a ton of money and I can write onto it. But if you don't want to write directly on it, you can use a piece of paper, write your intentions there, just very affirming, high vibrational words that are used, and then put that piece of paper underneath even a cup of water. If you don't want to do a bottle, a cup of water, and allow that to sit overnight. Because there was a study, I will actually figure out the doctor and put the information below because it escapes me right now, but that did a scientific research on the crystallization of water and how when you have loving, beautiful, happy words, projected towards that source of water, the water would crystallize, meaning being frozen, and then they would analyze under a high microscope how beautiful those patterns would look versus if it was hateful, vengeful, aggravated words that were projected towards that water source. Everything would freeze in a very ugly, stressed-looking pattern. Yeah. And that's what the effect of words have on our bodies. So going through life and listening to media and doing different things around these angry words, they don't help anything within us. So it's nice to take charge over that and make sure that you're intentional with something that you should be digesting so much throughout the day anyway. Now this will give you a little bit more motivation in putting water into your body. Yeah, I know. I need to be drinking more water, and it definitely helps too when it's doing something with purpose. So definitely take action in doing so. If it, again, the simplest way is if crystals and all that stuff is freaking you out and you're new to all this stuff, then just simply write your affirmations on there and go for it. Yeah, write them on it, write them under it. Make sure, you could even play like classical music around it, but you want to make sure that you're intentionally putting love and high vibrational sound towards that source. The same way that they say when you water plants or, you water plants, but you play music that's really, really peaceful or sounds that are peaceful. You talk to your plants while you're feeding them and you're nurturing them. This is just the way to do the same thing with the human body. You're nurturing, you're cultivating from a space of love. So taking that care is beautiful. And I like this process when specifically trying to call in something into your world, whether that's confidence, more love, more prosperity. For specific intentions, water is a beautiful thing. So if you have a piece of paper and you're writing out what you want to call in, leaving that underneath and just practicing that for just say something simple like 30 days, I feel like you will notice the difference because I've done work with water before and I'm always so amazed that we don't take more advantage of such a free resource. So that's why I now purchase something that I could, have a committed use to my water intention work. That's why I don't just use the cup. Right. But if you want to just use the cup of water, that's completely fine for you as well. And like Erika said, I know crystals can seem daunting to people. I have my whole little glass thing of crystals right here, and I have many more. But just think of it as part of the earth. And that's the biggest creation that we're a part of is this beautiful, beautiful world. So taking a piece of it, whether that's a flower or a stone, and inviting that to be around that water source could be something so beautiful that you do to just honor the place that you call home. Yeah, you can also do the chakra healing with the fruits as well in your water. Yes. The color of the fruit correlated with the whatever chakra you're trying to balance and heal. So, for example, you're working on a root chakra. Okay, put strawberries in there. Yeah, because we know the root chakra is correlated with the red color. So, if you want to learn more about the chakras, we can also link more information about that below, along with the doctor that has done the studies on the crystallization of water changing depending on the vibration of the sound projected towards it. We can leave those things below. Yes, guys. All right. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to subscribe. Let us know what you think about your time and using water for healing. And we look forward to seeing you on next episode. Bye, vibers.